You right.
That's right.
I'm right.
What's going on, motorsports fans? This is Jared here with the Bearded Garagistas. Back again with my brother, Brett.
How you doing?
And today, hella excited because we have another new guest in a realm of side of something that we've never talked about yet on here, and that's grudge racing. So please welcome Mr. Chuck G.
It's your boy Chuck G. And Tony Rayford.
Tony. Well, if you see Chuck, you see Tony.
That's right.
They pretty much roll everywhere together. Your Instagram handle is
Chuck G72
Chuck
ENT. Chuck G72 ENT.
something like that.
Something like that. But you'll get me if you put it in. Getting old, man.
I think is it Chuck? I think it's Chuck Gent. So it's Chuck G
Well, it
ENT
looks like
72.
Okay, you got it.
Chuck G ENT 72.
Yeah.
I think I'm right.
Chuck G ENT.
There you go.
72.
Ne-
Chuck Gent.
There you go, Chuck Gent. It's like
'Cause
you're a gentleman.
you're a
I
gentleman.
won't
gentleman.
forget now that you mentioned.
You're a gentleman.
I got it.
Gentleman and a scholar.
Well, I've known Chuck from for a little while now. I've been doing a lot of photography at his events. He runs a lot of no time grudge racing down here, crunch time mainly.
Yes, Crunch Time. We started that a few years ago at Palm Beach International Raceway.
So I think you're up to like 4 or 5, right, for crunch time?
I lost track. I think we jumped to 6 or 7.
Yeah, there's a bunch
Including
of
rainouts.
Oh yeah, well, you got
Rainouts, we
you got rainouts.
Mother
and
Nature. It's okay. It's okay. I love you.
Yeah, you don't want to piss off the weather
No, I
gods.
don't
You know what I'm saying?
That's something you got to deal with down here, man.
It's the beginning of hurricane season, so
We'll stay quiet
tippy
for now.
toes right now.
I hear you. But yeah, I've taken a lot of photos of the cars that go to his events. Crazy times, crazy guys, a lot of betting, a lot of money. I've seen some races with so much money on the table that it's made me uncomfortable, and I'm not even in the race. But exciting as all
Well,
hell.
like you get nervous for them?
I get nervous for everything, bro, because then, the more money that's stacked up on the table, the more excited the guys get. So then they start,
It's the real deal.
It's
the real deal.
Yeah, it is no joke when you go to a Chuck G event.
Yeah, it's real, and it's been going on for a long time. We're just trying to preserve it and keep it going for another 100 years.
Hell yeah.
Before we go electric, I think.
You think so?
We have big electric motors.
I don't know, man.
Giant electric motors bigger than the cars.
No way.
No.
I've seen some of the cars that go out there, and I don't think those guys are ever going to get away from regular cars.
Yeah. That's
know,
another
man.
story. We'll talk about that EPA thing later.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Well, I know you've been in racing for a long time.
Yeah.
I know we talked prior to you coming on when we had Mike McCune on that you've known him since you were a kid.
Yeah.
So where did we'll do a little background first, and then we'll kind of get into the current stuff now.
Yeah.
So where did racing start for you?
It started when I was coming out of my diapers. My dad would take me. Yeah, my father would take me to the track, which was Palm Beach International Raceway. It was Palm Beach Raceway, actually, back then, mid-'70s, maybe 75.
Wow.
I've been going that long. So during that time period, I started seeing all these fellow racers like Mike McCune, Mopar Kid. That was my number one model car that I built. I tried to replicate when I was a kid.
Wow.
Yeah, so those
That's
are
awesome.
when you're a kid, this stuff stays in your head.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You remember that. You'll never forget that. You know?
What was your dad's interest in the track? Was he racing? Was he just going?
Yeah, my dad was racing. My dad, I came up on Mopars, all Mopars.
Yeah.
Hemis and all kind of things like that. Strictly Mopars. That's why I love Mike McCune, because he was the Mopar kid. But my father, he was in the Mopars through his good friends of his, Joe Chesson and Pat Williams and Art Chesson. They all ran Mopars.
Right.
They had a couple Sox and Martin Cudas, race cars like that.
Yep.
And Lincos and all kind of stuff like that. They ran a lot of Hemis and stuff, 426 Hemis. Chevy, Chrysler, that was the big few back then.
Right.
So that's how I got addicted to it, because I was going around those guys. And my dad had an older cousin. He raced 69, 68 Camaros back then. His name was Wolf. 4-speed. He used to bang the 4-speed with a 427 in it.
Damn.
It's just it's been around me all my life, man. That's when they bury me, you got to bury me at the track.
Hell yeah.
Was
that's
there
all I
ever a
know.
moment where you went, I don't want to do this anymore?
Oh no. When you're a little
told
kid,
you.
Raise it up.
It's limp.
No, it's fine. You start raising up the volume, bro. Relax.
when you're a little kid playing with Hot Wheels and racing, and when you're a kid and you're going to the red lights and the green lights,
Right.
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The light go green.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, hey, it's never gonna leave me.
Well-
I might be an old man in the bed. I'm racing in my brain. I'm racing.
Well, I
Oh,
hear
yeah.
you. I hear you that I know now that you do mainly promoting. Did you race back in the day when you were coming up?
When I was 24, I built me an El Camino.
Oh, baby.
A 70 El Camino I built with a small block in it. My dad got kind of ticked off at me then because it was a Chevrolet.
Yeah, I don't know what you were
He
doing.
gave
You're
me
breaking
his-
the mold.
He gave me his 70 Duster with a 340 in it that he used to bracket race with. So
Okay.
he bracket raced in the early 80s, mid 80s with that car. And he would come in the finals probably like at least twice a month.
Damn.
On a Saturday night out there, get them guys hell. Run 1240s, 1220s all day long. 108 miles an hour.
Damn.
Never forget that.
Was racing better back then?
Yeah. In my opinion, yeah. You had no social media.
You had to go to the track to see it.
Or pick up a phone.
Yo, this
you
just
know
happened.
what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
that's it. Only thing you called the track for back then was to see if it was raining. And that was it. Is it raining? Nope. Okay, we coming.
That's legit. You're right. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I think social media helps some things, hurts others.
Yeah.
After the
Sucks.
so you raced for a little while and then went straight into promoting, or was
Yeah,
there
I
a time in
started-
between?
Yeah, I started. I just slowed down then because I had raised two kids, two boys, and I had an older son also. But I was raising my boys, so I didn't have time, to hang around race anymore. But in the mid '90s, '94, '95, I used to go out and bracket race and help my partner Bob Lee Sr., aka Pickup Man.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people know him. He used to bracket race a lot, and he passed away maybe 5 years ago. And my other partner Andre Soto, he had a Datsun, like a '78 Datsun
Yeah.
truck
Okay.
with a big block Chevy in it.
Damn.
Jesus.
Holy
That's the
crap.
definition of like the LS swap for a Miata nowadays, right?
So yeah, he would bracket race. We would bracket race with that truck, and he would grudge race also. When we have a race on Sundays called Outlaws, I won't say the other name they used to be called. I'll tell you that off camera. But we would blow up. He would blow up a motor on a Friday night and test and tune at the track. Sunday morning, we'll have another motor in there.
Really?
No
Junkyard
way.
motor. Junkyard.
Yeah, but
Get
still,
in there and
they
run.
put
Go
out
out there and
power.
run 1090s.
Do you feel like a lot of bracket racers race Grudge too, or like they get their start in bracket racing and then go to Grudge, or the other way around?
Not too many bracket races I see do Grudge. I mean, I know one guy, that's Stevie, Pee Wee in Motion Racing, down out of Homestead, Miami. He's a good bracket racer, and he Grudge races also.
Do you feel that being a bracket racer makes you a better racer?
If my son wanted to grudge race, if he wanted to be a grudge racer, I would put him in bracket racing
Really?
or index racing because you know the tree. You need to be good at the tree. You need to discipline yourself. You know what I'm saying? To me, it makes you a better driver.
Yeah, makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? So, grudge racing, you got to be calm. You got to be calm. 'Cause-
Yeah, there's so much commotion at the line.
yeah, you got to be. And then you thinking sometimes people drive people cars, and they're putting up a bunch of money. You don't want to mess up a red light.
Yeah.
You got to be cool and calm. You can't listen to people because they try to get in your head. They mess your brain up. So you can red light or make a mistake or forget to turn the nitrous button on or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right. How often does it happen? How often does it happen?
Oh, it happens. It happens a lot. It happens.
People get rattled or something
Yeah.
happens.
If you're not trained to go, if you're not smart, it happens.
Yeah, we talked about I think it was with Mike where before they race, there's so much talking and yelling and screaming, and you think everybody's about to fight, but actually, in actuality, they're not.
No.
They're trying to rattle each other,
Yeah.
and get each other nervous. It seems
Yeah.
for the next round or something like that. So, I think that's just the way it is. Trying to get into somebody else's head, and that's the best way you can do
Called
it.
smack talking.
Yeah, got to do it before you get in the
Smack
car.
talking.
That makes sense.
Oh,
So
yeah.
now, as a promoter, why did you start doing that? Was the main reason what you said was to keep it going?
Yeah, what happened was I had to do something, and that was, I'll go back maybe 2014. I said, let me get my camera. I got a camera. Let me start video and just get this stuff hyped up.
Right.
You know, and everybody, at first it started off a little slow, but like 3 weeks later, not even that, Chuck G, you at the track. Oh, Chuck G. Everybody want to be on camera. First,
Right.
people were camera shy. Now, everybody want to be on camera.
Oh yeah.
Everybody want to see their car. I start filming the races because nobody knows. You got people in Georgia everywhere. They don't know what's going on down here on a Friday night. They don't see too
True.
much. We didn't have too much Facebook Live then. I don't
Right.
think we didn't even have it then.
No,
I mean, good luck getting
Yeah.
any service up at PBIR to go live on anything.
Yeah, so
That's true.
And what happened was they're like, well, them guys they're packing the track on a Friday night. They got some racing going on, So, and in the midst of all that, Eric Breland from Arc Racing, they do nitrous bottles and stuff
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
All that things. He inboxed me and said, hey, you need to meet up with Tony Rayford. Because Tony was kind of doing his thing, with Central Florida and the West Coast of Florida.
Okay.
And I was covering everything down here, South
All right.
Florida. So we said, you know what, let's get together. We got together and we said, we're going to get this going to combine everybody, to make this thing grow so we can have some more racing going on. And then, we got a battle. South of Yeehaw Junction. Everything south of Yeehaw Junction is slow.
Oh shit.
That's coming
You-
from Central Florida
Oh, shit.
and the West Coast.
You heard him. He said it.
Yeah.
Damn.
But
man.
we're not slow. We got shootout races. We got no time shootout races. We got people that grudge race. We got grudge racers that don't like to get in no time shootouts. And we got a lot of guys that like to run shootouts and don't grudge. You know what I'm saying? And,
What's the difference for some people who are watching that may not know?
Well, a shootout is a shootout basically like class racing. We put up a pot. We put up maybe like, I'll say $1,200, $2,000. You pay $100 entry to get in. You're running for that money. When you
Okay.
grudge racing, you're not running for that money. You're taking your bill money, or you're taking your money out your pocket, and you putting it on the line. You know what I'm saying? This ain't nothing new. I mean, they didn't call it grudge racing 50, 60 years ago. Grudge racing has been around a long time. Grudge racing has been around since the chariot days.
Right.
When they raced the horses, the chariots.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Pretty much, And in the 50s, they ran for pinks. They ran for pink slips. So now we're running for money. I'd rather keep my car.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean,
You got some people that run for $300. You got some people that run for $1,000. You got some people who run for more than that.
yeah.
What's
I've
the
seen-
average? What do you think the average is?
1,500, 2,500,
What's the highest you've seen?
50,000.
That's what I seen. That was
When you get a bunch of people, you got a team. I mean, it's easy if you think about it, to get that money high. You
Yeah.
might have 10 people on the team.
everybody puts in their
You know what I'm
stack because
saying?
they believe in the car. They believe
know?
in the driver.
And and a lot of that, some people don't have enough balls. You may not. You know what I'm saying. You may not have enough balls, man.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know if I have enough balls
Yeah,
to put
man,
up
I
that
don't think
much
I could
money
do
on
that.
a
But
race.
I look at it like this. When you go to the casino to gamble, what's the difference?
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody gonna lose, somebody gonna win.
I would say
you could even say, like, you take that, casino versus grudge.
got a
At
better
least
chance
it's
at grudge
more
racing.
in your hands
yeah, because you
when
built the
you're
car.
racing. Right. And you're the one driving, right?
Yeah.
Drive them out, all that shit. But when you go to the casino, that's all stacked against you.
Yeah, 100%.
I just don't know if I could do 50 grand.
And then you got a guy that might come out. You got the test and tuner that come out on Friday nights. Says he's a grudge racer, but he never races. He tests. He's a test man. That's all he does. I mean, I want to race somebody. I don't really want to go down the track by myself all the time. I want to race somebody.
I-
Yeah.
And then you got the guys that like to buy the race. The guy that buy the race. Okay, let's run for $20,000, Jared. Now, I know you ain't got no $20,000 you're going to run on. Come on, man. That's it. That's done. Okay, he just used that just so he could get out of racing. You know?
Yeah.
But me and Tony's whole thing is to bring the state of Florida grudge racing, make us a strong team, the whole state. Because we got Georgia, we got South Carolina, we got North Carolina, Alabama, we got all these other states, Virginia.
Big boys up there.
Yeah, everybody, you know, they beat up on Florida. They beat up on Florida. The best thing we had, the founding father of Florida, we call him the mayor, is Baldy White. That's Baldy White at Lizard Racing. Team Lizard Racing.
Yeah.
And Baldy, it might be 40 degrees in North Carolina. He hitting the road from Florida, going to Carolina. Like, he represented Florida for a very long time. And
damn, man.
we give a lot of respect to Baldy White. You know, he held Florida down. Then we had Big Low. Big Low came on board. Big Low out of Miami. He held Florida down also. You know,
was grudge racing in Florida, or what, that heads up racing, was that big back in the day for Florida, or is it
grudge
bigger
racing,
now than it was?
To me, it was bigger way back. Early 80s, to me, it was bigger. But it's been going on a long time. Like, they had people coming from Georgia down to Palm Beach back in the mid-'70s.
Right.
To come race people, grudge race people. You know, back then, I don't think it was too much of a factor. See, we don't like to show times. We don't like to talk times. We don't do that with no-time racing. And back then, I believe they had a lot of cars that showed time. Well, they announced their time back then.
Right.
You know, so some people knew what they ran. You know, it wasn't so serious back then, but they would come down from Georgia to run people down here in Palm Beach.
You know,
no I-95 back then, bro.
Yeah, I know. That's
no cell phone back then.
Does that happen now? Like, all right, so the way I have it in my head is wherever that top car is, that top driver is, you're going to them. Right? So if they were coming down to Florida, does that happen anymore?
Yeah, oh yeah. As a matter of fact, Lizard Racing, Baldy White, Smoke, shout out to all them, crew chief, Mark Stevens. They had the biggest race. We had the biggest grudge race in the world.
Really?
I won't say the country, I say the world. We had the biggest grudge race once a year in December that they throw at Orlando Speed World. No guts, no glory. You have the whole East Coast here to come race. That many people, that many cars. People coming from Texas, Michigan, everybody come. Even if a guy don't bring his car out, they bring it out that one time a year, they're there. No guts, no glory.
Well, I've always said that too, because like
Big.
it seems like what I've seen from my time at the track is you'll get a lot of people who either Florida races Florida or Florida has to go out of state to race. On the biggest races, they'll come down here. But when I see the most come from out of state, is at the cold time everywhere else, like December, November, January, when it's freezing up north. Florida's on and popping.
It's on.
So I'm like, I don't understand why we don't pack in the races at that time of year. And I think we should more, but that's no guts, no glories
kicking.
Right around that time.
Yeah.
That's
You go in YouTube, put that in. You'll see the past probably 6 years, 7 years. It's always going down, always.
Up until the current time with this whole virus fiasco, was promoting easy or is it difficult? What are some of the struggles you have with promoting?
Well, Tony and I struggles is Mother Nature. The past year and a half, man. We other than that, it's okay. It's good because if we do a race at Palm Beach, you know, we got everybody. They're coming down to support.
Right.
They're coming from Tampa. They're coming from Orlando, Ocala, Gainesville. They're coming down to support. You know what I'm saying? We ain't have a big, huge crowd like 20,000 people, but you know,
the racers are always there for you.
Yeah.
How's the tracks?
The tracks.
Do the people at the tracks understand the importance of having a grudge race there? Do they give you any pushback on like days you can get and things like that?
We didn't have a problem, too much of a problem. Like with the grudge racing, you know, the thing with grudge racing is Say the track closes down at 11:30 at night. A lot of guys like to come up 11:15.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they're rushing you. They're rushing you.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you guys got to hurry up. Most time these guys, they're counting the money. They're counting the money. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people get upset because sometimes it might be 6 o'clock at night, and all of a sudden now this car they want to race. It's 11 o'clock. The track getting ready to close. You had all this time to run. Why you wait till the last minute?
Yeah.
That's another problem we have all over the place with grudge racing. But as far as the main thing, a track has to work with you, because if you step on the grudge racers, if you kind of tick the grudge crowd off, a lot of times they're like, we're not, we ain't gonna come back. We're not coming back.
From what I've seen, the grudge crowd is usually the biggest crowd.
I was just about to say the same thing. Man.
Yeah, and the dunk races,
Bro,
that's a whole nother ballgame.
do you hold those too, or
No, we don't do dunk races. Like, we might host, Tony might host, and I might do some filming, but
Bro.
that's a whole different crowd, because you got a lot of people, they don't know a lot of people that go to fans, they don't know too much about drag racing. They just want to see the cars go down the track.
because you normally don't see
so-
that kind of car going down the track?
Yeah. So they get that crowd. They get that urban crowd. They get everybody out there. You know what I'm saying? Even at crunch times, if we say we're gonna have 2 donks there to race,
You see the numbers go up.
oh, they're gonna go up. They're gonna go up.
Really?
It's hard to combine both together. It's a lot of work when you combine grudge cars with race cars.
I was going to ask you that
Because my opinion on it, you got 2 different crowds of people. You have a guy that might come back to his trailer with his race car, and somebody got his trailer blocked in. He can't get to his trailer. Sometimes he get, they're like, yo, can you move your car, please? I need to get in my trailer. They flip him out. What do you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's just like an example. And then you got the prep of the track.
right.
Yeah.
A lot of times, them tires on them dunks, they tear the track up.
Yeah, because
For
they're
a
not real. They're not
yeah.
race tires.
Yeah, for a regular radio car, drag race radio car or something like that. Yeah,
So it's more difficult. You would have to, as a promoter, do you put them like towards the end of the night or the beginning or something like that, get them out of the way?
Well, stuff like that.
Like if you had a donk and you had a
Yeah, if we had something like that, most of the time it's going to go down later on in the night.
Yeah.
And if we do have it, it's probably like 2 or 4 dunks, so it's really not a big issue.
Right.
To where cars coming up there and tearing up the rubber off the track.
Makes sense.
You know what I'm saying?
As a grudge race promoter, is there anything that you can do to try to help more people get to the track? Try to entice more people coming?
It's the grudge races. It's the featured grudge race.
It's like the big names.
If you got a featured grudge race that's going down like next Saturday in Orlando, Cash Days, we got David Green going up against Balls Deep. That race been trying to go down for
Long time.
a long time.
Really?
A long time. You got a lot of people that'll just come see that race.
That's awesome.
That one race.
My thing is, though, like, that's going to pull in a lot of people that are already interested in grudge. How can you reach beyond that? Because we want to grow motorsports in the country. How do you get new people into racing? Do you have an idea on how that can happen?
For grudge racing, for people to come to grudge race, here's the thing. A lot of people, they do come out to a no-time event. The first thing they say when they see the cars going on track, oh, how come I don't see the time of the car? Why the time?
Right.
Because you're at a no-time race. So on a flyer, I put that down specifically. This is a no-time event, no-time race.
Right.
A lot of people don't understand that. And then you got a lot of people be like, oh, why they arguing over there? The smack talk. A lot of people don't understand that, and it turns some people off. A lot of people want to see racing go nonstop. So grudge races don't happen all the time. Basically, you could do a grudge race on the test and tune night. You don't have to have an event to have a grudge race.
Right.
So we throw in our shootouts. We throw in our no-time shootouts.
Okay.
So we usually have at least 2 shootouts. We'll have our D-League shootout. That's a class that Tony and I came up with. Actually, shout out to Travis, Chief Viagra, Gapaho Racing. he came up with the name D League, and that's a lot.
Lovely
Tell you
name.
that. Yeah,
I was
D League is
mad I did.
yeah, that's a slower car that when we started, it was for a group of guys, because all the fast cars get the attention.
Yeah.
Right.
The D League cars were the guys like, your weekend
Happens the same
warrior,
thing with
the-
photography. All the photographers take the fast cars,
Yeah.
and then the slow cars, they don't do
Yeah,
nothing.
the D League were the slower guys. They were like the ninth graders, So we grouped them together. We
Right.
We don't talk times, but Tony and I, we figure out, we group them together and give them a list. Okay, these are the cars we're going to have. We got 8 cars. They all agree on it. They're happy with it. We don't put out the list too early, because people like to play games, You know what I'm saying? We don't want them to know who they're going to be going up against. So we usually put it out a week or a few days before our race. But
That's
that
smart.
we started at 2016 in January. We had our first D League race. Now those cars, a lot of the cars, they graduated. They're not D League no more.
Oh, you win the money in D League, and then you move up. You put more parts in the car and keep it going.
And the main thing about it, a lot of people think, we had to work with what we have. So
Right.
if we got a group of cars that they're running together, and I'll say time for this time. I'll mention the time. I'll just say say we got like 8 cars and they're all running in the range in the 8th mile of a 480. They keep them around 480.
Right.
Okay, if they all group together, we'll run them. And we'll do.
Do they seek you out? Say I have a car that I might want to take to a
How do
grudge
they
race.
find you?
They hit you up and they're like, hey, I want to run. This is what I think I can run. Or do you find there's 2 different questions I guess I'm asking here, and I'll clarify.
Yeah.
One is if I'm a racer and I've never been in grudge racing and I want to get into it, I reach out to you and come to one of your events. I assume they would DM you, they would message you.
Yeah, they message us on Chuck G Entertainment.
The other side of that question is, if you said there's a big race going on in Orlando next weekend.
Yeah, Tiffany and David Hill's Cash Days.
Okay.
It's going down at Orlando Speed World, the
Now,
27th.
who puts that race, right? Who gets them 2 guys to say, yeah, I'll race that dude? Is it the promoter that does it? Does the driver reach out to you and say, hey, put me up against so-and-so, I want
You
to race
mean as
them?
a grudge race?
Yeah, who I always wondered, when I see your flyers come out, because I followed you on Instagram since I started shooting Apex.
Yeah.
And, I'll see you put out, I don't know why the name sticks out to me, probably because it's the same as a monster truck, but I'll see, Bigfoot
Yeah.
versus, somebody else. And
Yeah.
I'm like, who set that up? Did they call up each other and be like,
Okay.
yo, I got you? Or
Okay, we have a big network. We have guys in the state of Florida we call the Morning Show. They're on almost damn near 20 hours a day
really?
on the phone.
Wow.
Yeah, they'll start 6 a.m. in the morning, maybe
Holy
earlier
shit.
than that. We have all these people on the phone together. I'm not on the phone too much like that. Tony will call me if something go down big like that, then he'll call me, or if they need me on the phone, then I go, because I'm busy working too.
Yeah.
A lot of people working with their Bluetooth phone, but I won't get nothing done if I'm on this show
Yeah.
and lose concentration. But when you got all these guys on the phone together like that, that's how the stuff happen. If there's a guy up in South Carolina, they want to call him out and run. They get him on the phone. They get him on the phone. We call it the back line. The back line. That's where everything go down at. They'll contact Tony. They contact me. They'll contact anybody. Once they contact that person, it gets out on the back line.
Everybody else
And they
just starts
started like
jumping
that
on
because
it.
we have radio, blog, talk shows that come on weekly. We have the Willie Dog Show. He's on Monday and Tuesday nights. He's out of Georgia. He covers everybody, the whole country, damn near.
Really?
Yeah. We got Pro Stock Joe. He does his live thing on Facebook. Tony and I, we got Grudge Talk Power Hour, Florida Grudge Talk. That's on every Wednesday night, 6 p.m.
Yeah, man,
there's a show
they're
on
way
every day.
more sophisticated than we are.
Damn, bro.
There's a blog talk show on
We
every
really
day.
are garagistas.
Everything gets started on those shows. I mean, they have tech talks. They talk about nitrous. They talk about anything you can think of. They talk about. Then it carries on to the back line. The back line.
Right.
You might think you know what's going on Facebook. You might think you know what's going on the regular blog talk show. Everything gets started on the back line. When a race come up, it comes most of the time. Florida Morning Show, It comes from them. Shout out to Big Satch, Sid, Bigfoot Racing, Joe, Kurt, the whole crew. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Baldy, Lizard Racing, everybody. Smoke. That's where it comes from.
I didn't know
man.
that.
Yeah.
See, that's something that you don't see.
The
Like
backline.
as somebody who just shows up to the track to either photograph or race, you know, all racers probably know, or to watch. I would never have known that.
I mean, I watch because there's a lot of people that they tune into Facebook. You know, they see what they see what we let them see what's going on. They don't know where it started from.
Right.
Most time it starts from the back line.
Right.
Yeah, like we know what's going down. If I'm coming to a race, I'm gonna know what's pretty much gonna go down, what's going down. You know, before I get to the track.
That's pretty legit.
Yeah, yeah.
Who are the biggest racers right now, and who are the fastest? So like, I'm sure when you remember Mopar Kid, you remember things when you were younger from a lot of the races, some of the bigger names, some of the bigger racers.
Yeah.
Who are going to be those racers for the future that are running now?
You mean in Grudge
Yeah.
for the state of Florida?
Yeah.
We start off
when,
with Florida.
when your kids, or say you had 6, 7, 8, 10-year-old kids that were coming to the track with you, and they pick out a car like, man, that's an awesome race car. They win a lot of races. 30 years down the line, when they're older, they're going to be like, man, I remember watching this dude run.
Oh, yeah,
Who's
yeah.
that guy now? Who's the iconic racer that's
Right
racing
now, I'll stay in the state of Florida.
Okay.
The same name you said a few minutes ago.
Really?
The same name you said.
It's the only one I
you
ever
said
remember.
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot. That's the only one I remember.
You got Bigfoot. You got Bigfoot. You got Balls Deep, Jit. You got Uncle Sam. You got Blue Magic. That's Camp 8 out of Orlando.
I've heard of Blue Magic.
Yeah. You got Lizard Racing, Baldy, the Lizard 2.
Yeah.
You know, that name gonna pop in your head. We had Big Country. Big Country, well, you know, he's doing no prep now. They doing no prep and all that stuff now.
He used to race down here?
Big Country?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Florida.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't watch the whole no prep
Yeah.
talk show,
Yeah.
the Discovery Channel show.
Yeah.
I don't watch it, and
Yeah.
I have a defense of why I don't watch it.
He's Florida. They're Florida. Country Boy Racing, I give them a shout out. They were dominating everybody in the Grudge game when they came out with their cars.
Damn.
You know, they were
So those are
they
the
put
main
in
guys.
work, man. They kicked ass, and so they they moved on. They moved on, radio versus the world,
Right.
and now they no prepping.
I don't
You know?
mind. I don't mind no prep racing. The reason why I didn't watch the show, and I don't watch the show, so when somebody talks to me about the show, I don't know. And the
Yeah.
reason why is I don't watch reality TV.
Yeah.
I have a hard time. And don't get me wrong, some of it may be real, but in my mind, I'm like, this is all fake. Like they
Yeah.
staged this shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch it, so that's why I don't watch it. I could be talking out my ass, but that's just why.
When you set up your races, do you have a pretty good idea who's going to win? Or is it you have no clue?
Anything can happen in Grudge Racing or racing period. Just because I put 2 cars on the flyer that's locked in the race,
Yeah.
it's not guaranteed it's going to happen. Normally, Tony and I, we normally don't feature the big Grudge race like that too often, because it's not guaranteed to happen.
Right.
Even because, they pay lockout money and everything, One car could break.
Right.
You have people that come there that just want to see that race.
For sure.
If I had these 2 cars featured on my flyer every day, I'm, promoting it every day, and then we get down to the race,
And it
it don't
happen.
go
One of them's
down.
not there.
You got you're going to have some mad, upset people.
Yeah.
Now shootout, we're going to promote a shootout. That's to give the fans something to do, to watch. People like that.
Yeah.
That gives, a Grudge race, like I said, you can get to the track on 1 o'clock during the day.
Right.
You may not see a race at 9 o'clock at night. There's people I know, and this was years ago, there's people, Dave drove from South Carolina to New Jersey to go see a high-profile Grudge race, and the race never went down.
Oh, my
Damn.
goodness.
Yeah, it happens. It comes with the territory with
As a
Grudge race.
promoter, do you try to get the deal done before they even get to the track, or do you just let it be and let them argue at the track and get the deal done?
Oh, they're going to argue when they get to the track.
But I
no
mean, like,
matter what?
do you try to get in front of it at all and be like, hey, let's lock in an amount now?
Well,
Make sure
yeah, they
everything's
do
good.
it. They do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets locked in, and most time Tony will handle that. Tony does a lot of
He's
DPs.
like, I
That's
let Tony
DP
handle
man.
that.
The deposit man does that. I don't. I've had to hold some money too, and be the DP man. I normally don't like doing it. It's a lot of stress,
That's some pressure.
Yeah, man.
You got cars that say, okay, if he wins, he's gonna have to. They're giving him the clear. That means the other car. If the other car turns the W light on, but if he doesn't clear him, that's daylight between the bumpers of both cars.
Okay.
If he don't clear him, he don't win. So you got to have a cameraman on the other end. You got to have somebody there. You can't be at an angle.
Is that for every race, or they have to say that before
That's
they
a
get down there?
That's a specific race. That's a stip. That's a stip in a grudge race.
What are some of the other like stipulations?
You got to be an attorney when you grudge race. You got to be an attorney when you grudge race.
That's what I'm saying.
You got to know what's going on. If I say, Jared, okay, Jared, let's lock in. We're gonna run for $2,500. We'll lock in 500. We're gonna give you 500. I'm gonna give you my 500. Jared gonna get. That's the lock in.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna race head up 8th mile. I'll see you then. I'm gonna race your car. I'm gonna race your what's that, Honda?
That ain't me.
Okay, well, anyway, I'm gonna race you. Okay, you know my car. You know my car. I have.
Yep.
Okay, we get to the track. I got a whole total different car. You're gonna be like, Chuck, yo, that's not your car.
Oh
Yo.
shit!
You
You just said
didn't-
you
you
were
didn't-
racing
said
me.
you were gonna
Yeah.
race me.
Yeah,
you didn't
say what car I had to bring.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't.
You
know
didn't say
it
what
got-
car I had to bring.
Really?
Yeah. So you'll be like, Chuck, I own a Camaro, so we go back, we reverse. Chuck, okay, we lock in, Chuck. Head up 8th mile, Pro Tree.
I already know what's
Against your
coming.
Camaro, Chuck. Your Camaro against my Honda. We go. Of course, my Camaro gonna win. We're gonna race. We're gonna race. Okay, 8 o'clock. We got to be in the staging lanes at 8 o'clock. If you're not in the staging lanes, if you at the staging lanes 8:01, you lose your
forfeit.
money. You lose your $500.
Yeah.
If you want to relock in, we can relock in again. So you got to be in them lanes at 8 o'clock. The DP man gonna be there to enforce that.
Damn.
Yeah,
So
it's-
that's how deep these
Yes.
races get.
And then
Yeah,
that
you
guy's
got-
going to show up and he's going to have
Yeah.
a better driver in the car because you didn't say it had to be him in the car.
Yeah, exactly. They had a race, and I can see you that video. They had a race
I got
about 4 years ago in South Carolina.
Yeah.
It was Tony Bynes and Stevie Fast, Team Primetime, Stevie
Yeah.
Fast.
I hear his name a lot too.
Yeah, they say okay. We raced. They locked in the race. They didn't say what Tony could bring. They knew Stevie was bringing a pro mod. They didn't lock in and say what Tony could bring. They might have told Tony he could bring whatever. When they get there, Tony Bynes came. He had a top dragster.
Oh,
Get out of
Yeah,
here.
he had a top dragster. Yeah, he had a top dragster with a blown motor in it.
goodness.
I don't know if it had a blown Hemi or a blown Chevy on alcohol, but it was a top dragster, so they pretty quick.
Holy shit.
Okay, yeah, that was the race.
They ran it?
Yeah, they ran. He beat him. He beat Stevie.
Holy
Get
shit.
the fuck out of here, man.
So, yeah, oh man, I didn't know it was
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I don't think Stevie gave a damn what he brought.
No.
He didn't probably think.
I don't think most people, I don't think they would even care.
Yeah,
You know?
you got to be a damn. You got to be an attorney, bro. You got to write down everything. That DP man got to read back everything that y'all them steps.
Is
that
Tony
you
a
look at.
is Tony a Florida State notary? He go get his notary. He's signing contracts.
It got to be wrote down. When if we're on the phone and they got a race locked in, bro. Tony got to write down. Tony first thing he says, hold on. Let me get my pad. Let me get my pen, or let me pull over. He got to write down everything. When he done, you got to read it back so both sides can hear.
Now, I also hear that there's
Yeah.
there's different rules for if you want to run no time. Apparently, you can't have shown your time in a certain amount
for
of time.
No time shootouts. Okay, that's not grudge racing now. Remember?
Right.
But yeah, no time shootouts. Yeah, you can't show your time. You can't. show
How
your
how
time.
long before? So say
Usually it's a
I ran
year. We say
a year.
That's because you might be running a guy that grudge races. You know what I'm saying? And he doesn't show his time. People could gauge how fast, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
the
of course.
Yeah.
person going. I mean, with today's technology, you could pretty much know how fast a car going anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe not down to the temps, but you know the ball field is in. You know, but that's why that rule is like that. Because grudge races don't have no rules. You don't have no rules. in grudge.
If it
got
wasn't said and written
Got
down before the
stipulations.
race,
Yeah,
it is
you
what
got
it is.
You got
Stipulations.
stipulations, but you know the no time shootouts. That's just because you do no time racing don't mean you're grudge racing. You could go run. We call you no time king. I mean shootout king. You could go. People want to see grudge racing.
But I'm sure
They
that-
want to see shootouts, but
Yeah, I'm sure
you don't
people.
mean you.
I'm sure you got a couple of people who only race shootouts and probably make some money at it.
Most of the people, majority of the people, at least down here in Florida, majority that run shootouts all the time, they don't grudge that much. They don't grudge that
They'd
much.
rather go for the pot.
Yeah, a lot of the grudge racers, the real grudge racers don't run shootouts. A lot of the real ones, they won't run shootouts.
They want to save the engine.
Yeah, a lot of guys don't. Yeah, they don't want to. Yeah, exactly. They don't want to beat their car down. We get cars, the grudge cars that we have that don't do shootouts, we'll have a 4-car shootout. We might have a 4-car shootout. Each car might have to put in $2,500 or $3,000, and then we'll usually put some money on top of that.
That's
Yeah.
that's a
Run for
big
that.
shootout.
Yeah, they're less. You know, you don't have to make. That's not that many passes on their car.
No.
So you might get a lot more of those. Go down a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, that's yeah. A lot of them guys. Yeah, we had a good high profile like that going down, but we got rained out.
Of course.
We got rained out, and then initially it was May 9th, and that was when the COVID was still.
Yeah.
You know.
So yeah, COVID affected you as well. Of course.
Yeah, and then Mother Nature got us on the 30th of May.
When's the next one that you're putting on?
Right now, we don't have a date at the moment, but we'll keep everybody in tune on Chuck G Entertainment.
All right.
Right now, it's the rainy season.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard right
That's
now.
what I'm saying now.
That
everybody-
rain beat Tony and I up. That rain tore us up last year.
I'm gonna say that
Right.
I don't think I've ever seen a successful race in this is my 3rd year going to PBR now.
Mm-hmm.
In the month of June, I've never seen a successful race weekend because it just rains every.
Because the thing is, with the rain, you know, we got a lot of people that's coming from out of town, coming from the west coast of town.
Right.
If they see the chances of rain, they
They're
don't
not
want to take that
coming.
route.
Yeah.
The only best place where you don't get, it could be 80% of rain all the way up to Wednesday and Thursday in South Carolina.
Yeah.
They'll turn around by Friday or Saturday. It'll be all sudden no
That's
rain.
because the way it comes out of
Yeah.
Africa and comes up to Florida. By the time it gets to South Carolina, it makes a turn out to the ocean.
It
and
does
you
something.
get lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happened 2 times. Like, shout out to Jamie Triggerman, TMR Racing. He had his event, no medication, this past weekend in Orangeburg.
Right.
For the whole week, it was showing a lot of chances. It was high. The chances of rain was
Right.
crazy.
No,
It
not
did
a drop.
It did like a 360 or 180, bro.
Yeah.
I think by Wednesday you could just see it just going down. And it's
That's
like,
awesome.
Wow. I think they got a little rain that Friday night or something like that, and it rained probably like 10:30, 11. And then after that was it.
Damn. I need to ask you the taboo question.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of these faster cars running? I know they run no time, but everyone judges. You know, you said yourself you can kind of take a guess. So if you had to guess at what the fastest cars are running right now, what do you think?
We got so many different varieties of cars.
the fastest grudge
fast-
races you got.
Nah, I can't even tell because it's unbelievable. How that sound?
I've seen some impressive shit. I'm not gonna lie. You guys got some guys out
We
there.
don't
that
talk
are-
no times.
See,
We do not talk no time.
I tried to get him to
He
answer.
tried, but we don't talk no times. You got to use your imagination.
He's true to the game, man.
You got you know, we had an incident.
I really tried.
Yeah,
dude.
we don't play with that time thing, bro.
I get it.
They had an incident.
It was worth the question.
They
though.
had an incident a couple months ago where the boards came on.
Oh,
on 2
really?
cars,
Oh,
and
shit.
let me tell you what. The people that were filming that Joker live or whatever, they cut the camera off quick. Turned it off fast, bro. Turned it off fast.
So if you,
You
do
know,
post, if you do get a time and you post it, you're like ostracized. People won't talk to you.
You do that, man, you kicked out the group, everything.
Damn.
We don't want to see no 60-foot times. You got people that show 60-foot times. But we don't want to see nothing.
I don't know, man. I've seen.
You got a guy.
I've
say
seen some
for
fast
example,
cars, bro.
You would shut a car down if you know you talk about their time or something happens. You'll put a car out of business.
Really?
Yeah, You had to wait a whole nother year, paint the car a different color, put a whole nother motor in it, put some different rims on
Oh
it.
shit, man!
I'm
You would
telling
screw
you.
that whole. You would screw it up.
I've been out to some of these races. I have no idea what their times are, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't put it past them to see some of them in the 6s, in my opinion. But again, I think they might. Some might
Remember,
be.
we're talking 8th mile now.
Yeah.
But
Well, I don't know. I don't know nothing from nothing. I've never seen a time, so I can speculate.
yeah.
And in my speculation, all right,
You're just a photographer.
some of these suckers are fast, and I've watched, some of these cars go down the track, and they're just dumb fast, lighting candles all the way down the track, 3-foot high flames out the exhaust, and just
Well, I'm gonna tell you something real quick. Grudge cars, the way grudge cars were, I'll say like 20 years ago. I'll go 20 years ago. A grudge car would be the car you would see. He might have a big motor in it. You might see a 70 Nova. It might have a bent up fender. The wheel wells cut out in the back. The bumper off in the back. Glass trunk, fiberglass trunk. You know what I'm saying? Dent in the door probably. You might see a little rust here and there. And that joker lead the line. He's wheels up in the air. You're like, what the hell going on? You know what I'm saying? He's moving. Okay, now, the past 5, maybe 6 years, grudge racing has evolved now. Because when you go to see a grudge car now, you're gonna probably see a Jerry Haas, Jerry Bickle Pro Mod car.
yeah,
Right.
Or Extreme 275 built car.
yeah. They don't.
Right.
They're not like
They're
even
not-
even the ones that look like street cars. They're race cars. Like,
Now,
those are-
yeah,
purpose-built.
Yeah, back then it was like that was a grudge car back then. You might see the car, it might have 3 lug nuts on the front, and you're like, damn, this guy, that's all he got, 3 lug nuts. I'm just saying for example. now you get the guys that got pro stock cars. They got pro mod cars now.
yeah.
It's a whole different ball game now.
What do you prefer? Do you wish it was still like that?
Nah, man. I like
Cars
watching
that
these.
surprise you,
I like
or-
watching these monsters, bro.
You know, I think it's cool in the beginning, and a lot of people like the cool, but I think now some people you might like to see a 70 Nova come up there to the line with some 275 Raiders on, looking good and pretty. Then seeing
Right.
a new style Camaro coming up on the line, like the COVID-8 they just had in Orlando with Donald Long.
Mm-hmm.
I think the 275 car was a Nova, 70 Nova. Beautiful car.
Yeah.
I think a twin turbo or Pro Charger, either one.
Wow.
Beautiful, immaculate car. Richard Holder. Seeing that and seeing a 2019 or Camaro or whatever.
Right.
I've seen so many of the new cars now. It's good when you see an old car looking good like that.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Beautiful, immaculate.
There's
Yeah.
one that goes to the track. I see the guy all the time. It's a silver with black stripes. I want to say it's a Trans Am off the top of my head, maybe a Firebird Pontiac. It has you're taking the photos of the cars. I know it's got the 2 nitrous bottles right in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
That's what I remember. But I have a photo of that car from the back, leaving the line. And the pit crew guy is standing there like with his hands on his hips, like watching the race.
Yeah.
And the car's getting down it, and you just see the big flame coming out the exhaust. I'm not gonna lie to you, photographing grudge cars is my favorite. Grudge in no time,
Yeah.
the shootout cars,
Yeah.
is my favorite type of car to photograph. My
I
favorite
think
race.
I think that was Troy Blake car.
Because-
you took a picture of.
I'll tell you why.
Beautiful.
And because they're good looking, most of them. Like he said, yeah, you might see some rust in these older cars. In the new cars, you really don't. And even if it is an older car,
Well,
like
what
a
I
70
mean
or
by
an
that,
80. Yeah, but like
I'm going like 20 years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah, yeah.
Just
Well,
how
like-
grudge racing evolved.
Right.
You know.
Some of the cars you see, a lot of the cars you see now, they're almost immaculate. They look gorgeous. They're fast. I love the fact that the backdrop, as a photographer, you want to set the scene. You want to set the tone of the race. And a lot of time in drag racing, nobody's standing behind the cars. It's just an open path, and the next car's there, and you get the tower in there. It doesn't really. It gives a little bit of a feel, but it doesn't give a feel like there's anybody watching it. You could be there by yourself, and the car could be doing the track down the
Right.
track by itself. There's nobody
Yeah.
in there. Like a lot of my panning shots, if you look, some of the races I go to, there's a few people in the stands, but not too many.
Yeah.
Right? You go to a grudge race or a donk race or something like that, and the stands are packed. I could take a panning shot, and the back you just see a bunch of colors. Everybody's T-shirts
Yeah,
standing up.
yeah.
Everybody's standing up,
Yeah.
and the car's getting down the track. Or if I take a shot of the car leaving the line, a lot of them don't wheelie, which wheelie is, technically bad. You want the car to just dig and
Yeah.
go straight. So a lot of them will just squat, get low, and go, and you'll see the flame coming out the exhaust. But then what you see beyond that is all the spectators, their pit crew, everybody who's betting on the race is right behind the line, and it adds this extra excitement to a photograph.
Yeah,
So
I
in
get
my
that.
mind, if I was going to buy a photo, I would want a photo of my car leaving the line, and literally everybody lined up like 3 feet behind me because they're so excited to see me run. And those set the tones, and that's why
Yeah.
my favorite type of race to photograph is a shootout or a grudge race.
And coming from you guys' view, y'all like the Formula One and all that stuff like that.
We do.
Them guys been using computers, laptops for how long? Very long time.
Long time.
You
time
see how
now.
drag race, I'll say drag race. You see how drag racing has evolved now?
Yeah.
Everybody now it's like, okay, I'm gonna take my laptop with me.
Yeah.
Right.
Or
They get to the track
they can't
and they
get
got
the
the-
information out of
Yeah.
I mean, the way these cars are set up now, I know you guys, I know Formula One, all that laid the platform down for
Oh, of
that.
course.
Because everything's computer. You change here
Yeah.
and there. You got to hide, lock it up, or whatever you got to do.
Well,
It's serious
the
now.
money in Formula
It's
One,
serious.
the money in Formula One gave way to innovations in the rest of the sport that would not have come if Formula One didn't take that step. So,
Yeah.
getting the computer, the telemetry, aerodynamics, things like that would have never transferred over into anything until Formula One forked up that money to do it.
Yeah.
But now you got the guys now. A local guy might whip out a computer and tune his car or make adjustments right at the track.
Yeah.
We've had Ken Pionis from Palm Beach Dyno on here.
Yeah.
Does a lot of Mustang tuning and stuff like that. He says that he'll have guys who are doing grudge races and stuff,
Yeah.
in Arizona.
Yeah.
And he'll get an email or he'll be out to eat dinner and he'll be able to pop open a laptop or
Yeah.
even sometimes on his phone.
Exactly.
And they'll be like, here's my logs. He'll make an adjustment, send it back
Send it
for a
back.
big money race.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
huge nowadays.
That
Whereas
is.
back then they didn't have
You
that.
can't do that now. Now it's like, okay, my tuner not at the track. Hook me up, bro. It's this thing came a long way. You guys from New York?
Originally
Yeah.
from New York.
Yeah, we with our grudge thing, we're a big organization that networks.
Right.
I mean, we got the guys up there in New York, the whole East Coast. We got the DMV, the Carolina guys. I mean, we all in December when we had that big race, everybody comes together.
Right.
Everybody comes together.
Do you have one or maybe, 2 or 3 races that stick out in your mind as your favorite races?
Well, that main race, No Guts, No Glory.
I mean like 2 cars going at it, not an
two
event.
cars going at it.
What
Is there
what was your
any-
most memorable
Yeah.
race?
There was Nemesis versus 901 boys out of Tennessee, and this went down at No Guts, No Glory. That was a Mustang. There were 2 Mustangs, and I think the 901 bad boys were the underdog.
Right.
Nemesis car super fast.
Right.
I think it was a car before its time, from what they said
Yeah.
at the time. This about 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Them cars went down that track, bro. It was like seeing 2 top fuel dragsters go down the track in that 8th mile, and the 901 boys turned on the wind light.
Wow.
The Nemesis car, he might have had a little problem somewhere. He was trying to catch him, boy. He went past the 8th trying to catch him. That race, man, I had to see that video. That race just did something. I love that race, man.
You
It was
mainly
just
run,
great.
you mainly run eighth, not a quarter.
Yeah, they run 8 miles. A lot of the drag races now is 8 mile. A lot of
A lot
guys
of
running
it.
8 miles. Yeah,
Do you like?
events.
I like the old way. I like
except
quarter.
NHRA.
Yeah. I like quarter. I don't know. I like seeing the big end, the top end of the track.
Well, the thing is, I'm gonna tell you the secret. I was same way too. I was like, quarter, man. I love quarter, but when you start seeing these quick 8th mile cars going down the 8th mile, going. It looked like they're going quarter mile, basically, because they pulling the chutes by the time they get to the quarter mile.
Right.
So
My thing is like
if
I
they
think
slow, it ain't.
I think there's 2 reasons. I think they can push more cars down the track in an 8th mile race. The
a-
race go faster.
And they say it's less wear on the motor.
I think that's it
I don't
too.
believe it either, but I think you could.
Well, you
Because
think
you're gonna blow. It's gonna blow. They put just as much in the eighth.
that's what. Yeah, but like my thing is like if they did run a quarter, right, and they're already hitting 200 miles an hour in the eighth, how fast is that engine going to be able to run in a quarter? Like there's only so far the engine can
No,
go
but you're
before it
asking
pops.
it to stay over 200 for that much longer.
Exactly. So
Well,
I think shortening the race, it still shows the speed of the car, but you got to be on from the get go. There's no running anybody down in an 8th mile race.
Well, like the pro mods, for example, they 8 mile, you gotta be good at the tree for one.
Yeah.
But the pro mods,
You can pump more in the top end. I think it's also the way they tune it, right? Because a lot of the times when we seen for the roll racing that we go to, and stuff like that, you'll see a lot of these, especially turbo cars. In the beginning, they don't look that fast. And
Yeah.
it gets to the big end of the track, the top end, the
Yeah.
back end, whatever you want to call it, and that turbo kicks in. There's no more lag at that speed, and that their last eighth is ridiculously fast compared to their first eighth.
Yeah.
And I think that's just how they tune those cars.
well, I
but-
think also, and as a matter of fact, I was talking to my boss about this. There's a couple of turbo cars. This was maybe 2 years ago. They were going 221, 222 on a 315 radio maybe, or 275. 315 radio. They were going 221, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now the same car, they're going maybe around 213, 212. So I think the whole objective is that 60 foot
Right.
or that first 330 or whatever.
Right.
They're trying to get all that, because the quicker you get it in there, the hell with the other end.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense.
They gear it up, yeah. So their mile per hour is dropping now. So
That's interesting.
yeah, it
You-
is.
Everyone always
that's
says
the
you
science
win.
behind it.
Well,
you know?
everyone says
Yeah.
you win the race in the first 60 feet.
Yeah.
So, 8th mile racing, I understand it. I've always been a fan of the quarter, seeing the cars at the big end. But again, they get a little squirrely at the big end sometimes. You don't, car, in the first 60 feet, if the car breaks loose, you could feel it a lot easier. It's not, man, some of these cars are so fast to get down a quarter mile and they're floating. It doesn't even look
Yeah.
like tires are touching
Yeah.
the track anymore. It's like
It's
like a
lot of-
Jetsons car by the time it gets down there,
It's a lot of technology now. A lot of technology. The shocks on these cars, the drag radios, you see how they lift up?
Yeah.
Yep.
They levitate, and then they drop. They drop when you watch them. They drop.
Who do you?
It's a lot of-
I think this is my personal last question. Who do you want to see go at it? Who are two cars that you haven't seen race yet that you think would be an awesome race? You need them to get that done.
Well,
Well, now that you said something,
right now, top of my head, that race I just told you about with Balls Deep, David Green, they're going down not this weekend, next Saturday. That's the race. That's one of the races
You wanted to see.
That's one of the races that got to go down. It got to go down. So that's going to be real big.
hell yeah.
That's awesome.
Do you have any more questions?
I don't, man.
Right now, off the top of my head,
This
I
was
can't think of
awesome.
anything else that I want to ask you. Did you want to say anything? Is there anything that we didn't cover?
Well, I want to give a shout out to the Grudge Racing family, everybody. All the radio shows. Shout out to Wild Man Radio Show. That was one of the first radio shows that started out maybe 10, maybe 11 years ago or so.
Wow.
Willie Dog, he was down with Wild Man. He started with Wild Man. I want to give Willie Dog a shout out. He's the big show right now, Mondays and Tuesdays on Blog Talk Radio. I want to give a shout out to BET. He had his own show. He's not on right now. He used to film. He did film videography. I want to give a shout out to 377 In the Cut. Google him or go to YouTube, 377 In the Cut. I looked up to all these guys, especially 377. 8 years ago, 377, that's who you're going to. If you want to see some racing videos, that's who you go to. You're going to see everything in the Carolinas, Virginia. He got it.
Right.
Anybody else I forgot? I ain't mean it. Just
I apologize.
hit me up, you know.
It's different when you get in front of the camera and the microphone.
Yeah,
Sometimes
I go brain dead.
Sometimes
quick.
you can't remember.
Yeah, I you know, I gotta give a shout out Palm Beach International Raceway for giving me and Tony a chance. Mitch Poppy, you know Mitch Poppy.
I know Mitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mitch. Shout out to Mitch. I gotta give a shout out to Bill Murray. Bill Murray, he do a lot of bracket races. He's up in Kentucky. He gave me and Tony first shot
Okay.
out there. I gotta give a shout out to Ozzy at OSW.
Man, you guys know a lot of people.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
know
grudge
lot of
racing
people.
family.
I
Is
know.
a big fan.
Ozzy Moya,
I'm just
Orlando
joking.
Speed World. That's who we rocking with.
Hell yeah.
He gave, always there for Tony and I. Always. Shout out to Wade Rich, Bradenton Motorsports, the whole state of Florida. That's our whole objective, is to bring Florida, make Florida strong
Love
as
it.
one big team. I mean, we got a lot of tracks that's coming up in Florida right now. We got Emerald Coast also, Powerhouse, OSW, of course, Bradenton Motorsports Park. They're trying to get County Line open back up. I know
They've
you've
been doing
seen
that for
different
a
things
while,
of that.
yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, so we want to give all the tracks. We want everybody on one accord. All the tracks on one accord. We try not to make events on top of events. We try to support each other. That's what Tony and our objective. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Baldy carried the torch. We give praises and shout out to Baldy, Big Low, Team Big Low. We give a shout out to all them guys. Camp 8, Sam Boyd, all them guys. Tony and I, we here to carry the torch to keep it going. And anybody else want to take over, even the young people. I love seeing the young people, like all the other guys, Malcolm, Francis Goon, all them guys like that.
I was just about to ask you, like, is
They doing a
there
good
that
job.
is that generation there
Yeah.
to keep it going?
That generation there, they know what's going on, man. They know what's going on. I give
That's
them all
awesome to hear.
praises. It ain't just got to be for grudge racing. Support the whole drag racing movement. Support. I'm a big advocate. Support your local track. I don't care what state, what country you in. Support your local drag strip,
Oh, yeah.
your local road course.
Yeah.
Because they want to take everything away. I mean, they rather take down the track and put developments on, houses on.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? They love to do that, and I'm sure they hit up a lot of tracks all the time trying to do that. But support motorsports, because we got to keep it going.
Please.
That's my main objective. I'm big-time drag racing historian. I love it. I mean, I study the front-engine dragsters, the beginning, the safety, safari, all that. I'm into it, man. I'm in it to win it. That's my life, man.
I'm really excited to have you on as somebody that aligns with the same message that we're trying to have with keeping motorsports together, supporting the local tracks, things like
That's
that.
right.
Has the respect for the sport.
Yeah, man.
And the
What-
people in it.
I got even give Mr. Tip a shout out. Index racing. He does index racing. Whatever you do in any sport, anything. I don't care if it's class racing, bracket racing, man, put your all into it. Mr. Tip, Eddie Chamberlain, if you follow him, he has a show on Thursday nights, a Blog Talk show.
Mm-hmm.
But he does his index racing at Showtime Drag Strip over
These
in
blog
Clearwater.
talk shows, where you talk, where can we see these?
Blog Talk Racing, blogtalkradio.com.
Blogtalkradio.com.
And I had to see the names of the shows
Okay.
in the days and stuff and times like that.
All right.
Mr. Tip, he's a big advocate of index racing. He does a good thing. Does a good thing, man.
I appreciate you coming out. I'm gonna.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna have to bring you back with Tony next time. Hopefully we can get you down here. What we'll do is
Tony Redford, man.
we'll wait until you guys throw your next one, your next
Yeah.
little shindig,
Yeah.
and then we'll hopefully maybe like the day after, the day before, while he's down here,
Yeah.
we'll be able to get you guys together
Oh,
and
yeah.
do a show.
Anytime, just let us know. We set it up, man. And he can do the talking next time.
Yeah,
When he do the talking, then I add in, and you know what I'm saying. I'll be there chilling.
I feel you.
But,
well, I really
thank
appreciate you coming out, man.
Yeah.
And yes,
Thank you.
If you have not seen a grudge race, if you have not seen a shootout, you got to get out there,
Yeah.
take a look at it. Donk
missing
races
out.
too are pretty fun.
Yeah.
But just, I understand, just grudge racing, man. It's where it's at. Like, that's still my favorite drag race to see.
That's right, man. They can't take grudge racing from us. Yeah. Grudge racing is here to stay. They can't. I mean, if you've seen different shows that came out with grudge racing, it's a lot of fake grudge racing. It's not real. They want to do it for Hollywood. That ain't the real deal. You need to come to the East Coast.
You want
You
to
know
see the
what I'm
real
saying?
Oh, you
deal.
heard it, man.
You got to
You
go
heard
to
it.
Chuck G Entertainment event.
Chuck G Entertainment, Trigger Man Racing out of the Carolinas, Carolina No Time Racing. That's Lance and Carolina Kid, Travis Harvey,
Right.
with Keith Berry and all that with the Woo Stop. You know, that's a lot of no time racing action and stuff like that. You might get a few Grudge Racing in. You know, shout out to all the tracks that support Grudge Racing.
I think he's going to start a war between the East Coast and the rest of the country.
But we got the Midwest too, Texas and all that. Shout out
think-
to all them. We
I
all
like-
one big family.
I like when they do nationwide races like
Yeah.
East Coast versus West Coast, or like, you know.
You like that, huh?
I love that shit.
Well, we get it going down. No Guts, No Glory this December. Just check Orlando Speed World page. It's usually second weekend of December.
I think what I'll have to do is I'll look it up,
Road trip.
and we're gonna have to make
You
a road trip.
will
I'll request off
have
work.
everybody there. Shout out everybody. Big Jake, he has a race going down July 4th at Darlington.
Well, we'll bring the equipment and we'll do a podcast out there, and hopefully we can get some of the guys
Big
to
Jake. Yeah, Big Jake.
get on the podcast.
Promotions. He's got his big race going down at Darlington July 4th. They got another big donk race going down July 4th at Valdosta.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's Antonio Don King Long. That's his name.
Bro,
Damn.
this dude.
That's a name.
It's funny because like you would think Chuck G would know what's
Yeah.
going on in Florida and like the South, but he naming
No.
off.
He's got
No,
everything.
naming off races everywhere.
we got a lot of legends in it. Jamie and Cowboy. I done say Jamie name like 100 times. And Cowboy. We got a lot of people. Willie Dog. That's Willie Jr. on Facebook.
Okay.
You check him out. Monday and Tuesday night, his shows are on.
Yeah.
Mandrell, I gotta give shout out to Mandrell. Mandrell, he's in Georgia. Shut Up and Race. That's the name of his little thing he got going on.
All right.
Shout out to everybody, man. I go on for days and hours.
I
you know,
believe it.
I know y'all ready to go home.
Nah, man. I'll stay for all the shout outs. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, man. But
I love the support.
I just I love racing. It's in my blood. So
I hear you.
and I know I ain't remember everybody. And I gotta give big props to my wife.
Oh,
Oh, there you go.
that's,
That's a big one.
That's the big
I'm
one.
here right now. So shout out to my wife.
All right.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everybody, for
Appreciate
tuning in. Next weekend up in Orlando, go check that race out. We're gonna have to get out there in December.
Yeah, Cash Days.
Cash Days up in Orlando,
I believe the 27th. Yeah.
and stay tuned to Chuck G ENT 72 for all your further races.
What did you say, Chuck Gent 72?
Chuck Gent 72
That's on
because you're a
Instagram.
gentleman.
Yeah. Put it in on YouTube. You can Google Chuck G Grudge Racing. Chuck G Entertainment on Facebook. You can put all that in.
There you go.
I got Grudge Racing Music. You can put all that in. That'll
got
pop up. you know.
everything.
We got it all, man. That's because it's from the heart.
I feel you.
Passion. And let me
believe
tell you
it.
this for the record. We, Tony and I, the first couple years, we didn't get paid.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when you do this
Doing it
stuff,
because you love it.
yeah, you love it. You're doing it from the heart. You know what I'm saying? We just, originality also. Originality. Be original with everything you do. Original.
We're trying, Chuck. We're
no,
trying.
it don't hurt. If you want to make a design that look like this, that's your stamp. That's your trademark. You rock that. You promote that.
Yeah.
Be original. Don't bite off for other people. Be original.
There you go.
Yeah,
We
I
keeping
like
it going though. And also shout out to Troy Perez Jr. with his Florida No Time Racing.
Okay.
We have Florida No Time Racing promotions and media on Facebook.
Okay.
And Troy Jr. Innovative Racecraft there, Florida No Time Racing.
Okay.
So we keep the media going on that page. You can promote your events on that page also.
Perfect.
And one more time,
Go ahead,
my
do it.
mentor, Michael Hitman Hill. Just Google up Michael Hitman Hill or go to his Facebook page, Hitman Productions. He has a lot of events going down. Darlington, Valdosta. A lot of no time events going down with Mike Hill also. That is one of my mentors also.
Yeah, man. Here's us thinking that, you know, motorsports is dying.
Shout out to Mike
Wow.
Hill.
It's just right here.
It's
Oh
just
man,
all
we here.
Grudge, man.
Trying to keep together and stay together and stick together.
I
There
love
you
it.
go, man. Well,
Mike Hill, Hitman Productions. So don't
Mike
forget.
Hill Hitman Productions. Go ahead and look
That's
it up.
right.
Well, we're going to get out of here. I appreciate you joining us for this last hour. We're going to have Chuck G back. We'll have Tony on next time with him. And go check out one of their events. And we'll see you guys later. Peace.
Peace.
You.